am Melissa, and this is the Book Break, and we're at Salt Lake FanX Comic Convention, and I just got to show you, these guys are so awesome. We got some Jawas right here. Hey guys, are you having fun?
Ibana.
What was that?
Ibana.
Oh my goodness! How about you? Are you having fun?
Ooh, teeny.
Wow, these are real life Jawas right here, guys. So excited that at the Utah Salt Lake FanX, I got to catch up with the world famous, let's be honest here, Jonathan Maberry.
Hi Melissa, great to see you.
Thanks, you too. So I was lucky enough to actually meet him last year at a writing convention, and he has so much going on. So let's talk about your favorite book.
The favorite book I've ever written, and it was, I think, my 31st novel. I just finished my 35th, but my favorite novel I've written is Glimpse.
And I got that right here.
Yep, it's a standalone horror novel. It's very creepy, very weird, and the monster in it is very hard to describe. It's a kind of vampire, but there's no fangs, no blood. He steals something else even more important than blood, and it just got optioned. Can't really tell you who optioned it, but we're about to make a press release soon. Just got optioned for film.
Okay, and you had something happen even more recently that just got optioned for film. Okay, you got to tell us.
Yeah.
Right here on the Book Break.
Got it right here. Rotten Ruin. It's my post-apocalyptic zombie series for teens. Alcon Entertainment optioned it. They did Blade Runner 2049, The Blind Side with Sandra Bullock, and a bunch of other films. Great company. And they do The Expanse on Sci-Fi Channel. They're fantastic. They optioned this. The vice president, Carl Rogers, grabbed this. He's a huge fan of the books. Every time he finishes a book in the series, he calls me and he wants to just talk about the book for an hour or two. He's an actual fanboy. It's great. But they have a great vision for turning this into a series of films, and they want me involved, which is great, in pretty much all stages of it. So we're already talking about screenwriters and actors and everything else, and we're having a blast. And what encourages me the most is they get it. I even asked them during the lunch, what would you think are the most critical scenes to capture the heart of the book? And he just outlined the ones that he wants to put in there. It's exactly right. And that's
pretty incredible, because that doesn't happen much. Often the authors are appalled at what happens, but they get it.
They really do get it. And it also is what sets that book aside from other zombie stories. I mean, it has a debt to Night of the Living Dead and George Romero, as Walking Dead does and other zombie stories do. But instead of trying to copy it, it extends the concept further. It follows the train of logic. If that happened, what happens next? What's the logical progression of cultural development and of growing up in a world after the apocalypse has already happened? And I had a lot of fun writing. I'm editing the 7th book in the series now.
Awesome. And you started writing, and your first book was published 2006?
Yeah, my first novel was published 2006. I did nonfiction stuff part-time for 25 years. My first novel, Ghost Road Blues, came out in 2006. And I hit the ground running. It's funny, I wrote that not knowing that I was going to like fiction. I did it as an experiment to see if I would enjoy writing fiction.
Wow.
As it turned out. And now I just finished my 35th. I've got the next 7 sold, waiting to be written. And I'm having fun being a professional daydreamer. I get to make stuff up for a living and get paid for it. I mean, that's a pretty great job description.
That's kind of a dream. I mean, let's be honest. It's kind of a dream. Now, you kind of took a spin on an old story, Aliens, Bug Hunt, and that's been around for a while, the Aliens story. Okay, you got to tell me about it.
Well, a buddy of mine was a film projectionist, and he and I drove to New York, I used to live in Philly, to see the first showing of Alien. And we were blown away. And I love those movies. I've watched them a million times. So I had the opportunity to pitch to Fox an anthology of stories set in the world of aliens, but focusing on the colonial marines, and not just the xenomorphs, but other kinds of aliens they may have met out in the big black. So I brought in some really great writers, and the anthology came out from Titan Books, Aliens Bug Hunt. It was a big hit, and we had a bunch of fun. And my buddy Brian Thomas Schmidt also did a Predators anthology, and I did a short story for that. So it's fun that those worlds not only are existing in new movies coming out, but they have a lot of strong life in fiction.
Yeah. And you also have a Netflix series coming. I mean, you are a busy man, Jonathan.
It's you put a lot of irons in the fire, hoping something will get hot, and then suddenly they all get hot.
Yeah.
But V Wars, V is in vampire. I'm trying to rock a gang sign, but nobody's picking up on it, so oh well. But V Wars is about melting polar ice releases an ancient disease, and it triggers a dormant gene that codes for vampirism. Turns out it was a genetic disorder, not supernatural. And there's all these different types of vampires emerging around the world, causing a political strife because humans are now drawing a line between us and them. So you've got the subtext of racism and intolerance. You also have the concept of what defines us as human. There's a lot of really key issues in there. Ian Somerhalder, who starred in The Vampire Diaries, is our star. He's great. Adrian Holmes from The Flash and actors from a lot of different popular shows have really brought their A game into it. And we're at post-production now at Netflix. I don't have the actual release date, but the rumors I'm hearing are November, December.
Of 2019.
2019, 10-episode first season.
Awesome. That's so incredible. And then you have 7 other books you've already signed up for, or they've already optioned you to say, Jonathan, please write me 7 more books, right?
Yeah, I write 3 to 4 novels a year, and also I edit anthologies. So I've got the next 7 novels already sold.
Yeah.
And they're in different series. 2 more Joe Ledger books in that series, a new mystery series for teens, another of the Rotten Ruin books, and a couple other things that are already sold. So I know what I'm going to be doing for the next couple of years.
Yeah.
Plus I'm doing a bunch of anthologies. I'm currently editing, if you ever know the old anthologies, Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark, they're actually collections. Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark.
Yeah.
Well, the estate authorized the Horror Writers Association to do a tribute anthology, which I'm editing, and we have, R.L. Stine was one of the first people to write a story for me.
Oh, okay, I gotta say I grew up with R.L. Stine. I mean, I love him.
Yeah, and he's one of the nicest guys in the world.
Yeah.
So we got these 35 writers wrote stories for us, and it's going to be a great anthology. It'll come out in early 2020 from HarperCollins.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Jonathan, so much for joining us today. It was a pleasure.
My pleasure too, Melissa.
Thank you. And thanks for joining us today on The Book Break. We'll see you next time.
I wrote What the Single Eye Sees actually as individual talks or sermons that I gave in sacrament meeting. And every time I gave one of those talks, I had lots of people ask me for copies. It got to the point where I was sending out dozens of copies of the talks to people, and I thought maybe I should organize them into a book so they'd be accessible by more people. The principal focus of the book, as it's stated in the subtitle, is faith, hope, charity, and the pursuit of discipleship. And so I hope people who read the book feel like they have a better understanding of the relationships that are what are faith, hope, and charity. One of the key principles outlined in the 4th section of the Doctrine and Covenants for discipleship is to have your eyes single to the glory of God. That's a New Testament concept that Joseph Smith felt inspired to include in his discussion about the qualifications for being part of the work in this era. And so I use it as part of the title in order to emphasize the eye single to the glory of God. I hope you enjoy it. You can find it at barnesandnoble.com or amazon.com.
Hi, I'm Melissa, the host of the show The Book Break, and today I would love to tell you about the book The Purple World by Dr. Joseph Q. Jarvis. In this book, he relates stories that show us how our healthcare system is broken and gives us a solution for how we can fix it.
Whoa, little lady. I thought we talked about this.
Did you know over 70% of Americans say our healthcare system is in crisis?
Wrong.
We need to do something about this. Pick up the book The Purple World, Healing the Heart.